Hi, everybody. I'm Rick DiClemente with Astrology Unplugged. We are an astrology chit-chat group on every Thursday night and put up on YouTube on Fridays. This is week number 85, and about once a month I like to have a guest on. And the Reverend Gregory Kehn is with us tonight, and he and I go way back to about 1982 when I had a little radio show. We're going to be talking in general with Greg about him being a medium in the fourth generation. And he will be doing readings for as many people as possible. I would like to try to get to as many folks as possible, like I said. I'll be flashing on the screen for you the connecting numbers and websites in case you get a hold of me. Who can't hear me? Who was it? Who's having trouble hearing me? Somebody said that. Lori, everybody else can hear me, all right? Okay. All right, Lori, we've had trouble with your system. I'm not sure what it is. Anyhow, Greg, welcome aboard from Ohio and from Lilydale. It's great to have you with me again for about the 50th time.
Yeah.
We're going to get it right this time?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lori. Good. Greg, I'll let him tell a little bit about himself. I know him so well. He is a reverend from Lilydale, which, in case you're not familiar with it, is one of the spiritualist centers of the United States, if not the world. Matter of fact, you have to be of the spiritualist religion or membership, I don't know what you call it, to even live there. They have a lot to do with giving messages from beyond. Diane, I don't know what to say to you, dear, but everybody else can hear me fine. You may want to log out and log back in. Greg, tell us a little about what you've been up to.
Well, I'm a spiritualist minister. I live in Lilydale, New York. That's my residence, my main residence. I do go to Florida for the winter. I've had an office down there in Bonita Beach, Florida, right above Naples, that I've had it for 25 years now. And I go down there and work during the winter. So I'm back up in Lilydale. In fact, I just drove from Lilydale down here a couple hours ago into Ohio, and I'll be here working in Boardman, and I'll be over in Warren. I'll be speaking at Trumbull County Psychic Society in Warren, Ohio, and I'll be doing that shortly this through the week. And it's been pretty hectic. And I have a home up in Lilydale, and I've been a registered medium on the grounds up there for, I think it's 46 or 7 years now.
You're very impressive. How cool is that? Hey, Greg, why don't you tell me, I've known you for so long, tell me a little bit about the 3 generations before you.
Well, the 3 generations.
How did the first one get started, and who was that?
Well, my mother, my grandmother on back, and then her mother, and they were all on my mom's side, and they were all mediums, and there was a connection with them being in India, not India, but England, and all over the lifeline goes back there and generationally. But as a child, I was raised by my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother was alive and living, and she was a medium and an herbalist, and she had the abilities to work with healing, and my mother did also. And I was frequently in the spiritualist churches 2-3 times a week, or in a circle, development circle, meditation group. We did development circles. I just taught a development circle for Fellowship of the Spirit yesterday into this morning until noon, and hopped in the car and drove down here. So
it's tracked back to the Fox sisters in New York State.
Yes.
Is that not true around the time of the Civil War?
Yeah.
Now, what year was your great-grandmother alive?
Let's see. She died when I was 9. I'm 65 now. And my grandmother and a great-grandmother, I'm not certain. I have the history of it written down, but I don't remember.
Anyhow, it's great to have you with us, and I've seen you do so much. We'll get started, and we'll have little questions in between.
Sure.
And I want to get started right away with your first, and you'll be able to ask great questions. Try to keep them poignant, like really not trivial. The important things in your life, that's the stuff he's really good at. And after watching him for 40-some years, he's just gotten finer and finer tuned. It's just amazing to watch. Erica, you are up first, dear. As soon as I can find you, I will hit your switch. I got so many here. Let me try. You should be able to. There you go. Erica, you are on. You're on with Greg. Go ahead, dear. Blue sweater, Erica.
Well, I'm supposed to have a question, huh?
Yes.
No, I'm saying if you do, you can't. You can't.
That's so hard.
You don't have to. He'll go without it. But if you have one, that's okay too.
Okay, I'll go without a question.
Well, first thing around you, dear, I want to say strong-willed, very determined, emotionally very sensitive person. You carry things very deeply. You've been learning to put people out of your life a little more and not allow them to bother you. And it's called, where am I investing my time, energy, love, and emotions? And you've been really redefining that. And you've stepped back from some people around you in the home front and have realized that I can't allow myself to be drawn in or disrupted by their dramas.
You're absolutely right.
And you, on the trip you made, it was a wonderful trip. I feel you really enjoyed it. But I feel with you, there's two places that you've already thought about going back to again.
At least.
Well, the two stand out to me. That's a very, very strong energy. And I want to say, this is not only a vacation of just go see things, but would you recognize the one place you thought about, I really want to go there and be there a little while and actually have that as a place that I could really get involved in being there some and enjoying it?
Absolutely.
Because I see that coming up, and I feel you're going to be able to do that, and it's going to work out wonderfully for you. You have a lady on the spirit side of life with you that passed away. That when she died, she had a difficulty with heart and lung area of the body, difficulty breathing. I feel her lungs filled with fluid before she passed over, and I feel she eventually reached a point where organs were shutting down.
Okay, I'm not sure who that was. Could be my grandmother, but I wasn't there when she passed over and she had pancreatic cancer.
Well, I definitely feel grandmother energy, and I want to say when she was in good health, she was quite a feisty lady, very independent person.
My grandmother was that. On my mother's side, I never got to meet my other grandmother, though.
Well, she's with you and she's helping you, and she's talking about you've been finding recently that where you're living, you've actually been having thoughts at times as to whether that's where you're going to be forever or that you were actually considering the idea of a change.
Eventually, that will be necessary, whether I want to or not.
Well, let me describe it to you this way. I really feel a change you're going to choose to make. Now, I am not talking about you being ill and have to make any changes. I'm talking about you making changes because you want to. And I feel the opportunity coming up will be there. And I see you placing yourself and your life in a position where it's just easier for you. And again, it's not due to health. It's due to the idea of you making the choices you want to make. And I feel very comfortable. I think it's going to be a wonderful energy. You have a gentleman in spirit that passed away that I felt when he died, heart problems. He had a difficult time for a while there with health before he passed, but I see him with you and very supportive of you, and he's so happy that you have your ability to travel.
Thank you.
Erica,
Could be my dad.
thank you very much, Erica. Thanks,
Thank you.
Barry.
That
I'm going
was
to try
very
to
long.
move on. Greg, I've never had 37 people before. We got a limit of 50 seats, so you next 13 better hurry. Okay. Marcia Bud, you're on with the Reverend Greg Kehn. Marcia's an old-time college friend of mine, Greg.
Okay.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, how are you?
For coming. Oh, good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. You going to read for me?
Oh,
She's in New York City.
I had kind of an emotional day, so I'm feeling a little emotional. But
Yeah.
I also lost a good friend, and I just found out about it the other day, and I didn't get a chance to like have a completion with her.
Yes.
But I'm having a completion with her sister just via email.
Yes.
And I might be able to help her sister finish up some things in a couple weeks with some paperwork and so on. She was my homeopath of 30 years who died.
I feel an energy with her that I feel such a healing energy. and she loves you, and she cares deeply, and she's a person that you were more than just friends. There was a bond there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel the bond is very strong. I see her very happy on the spirit side of life. She misses the tangible energy of everyone here, but she also has been amazed at the idea of the instantaneous thought and the instantaneous ability to communicate with whoever she would think about. She's there. And she's been there with you, and she's so grateful that you have been, quote, a counselor to the sister, because in a way, you're another sister.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I feel it's working wonderfully that you're able to share that. And I feel that lady's grateful that you're doing it for the sister.
And I also didn't want to overstep any boundaries because I'd never met my friend's sister.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't want to push myself. And I also didn't want to push myself on my friend during her death process, which turned out to be a very spiritual death process.
I feel she had a wonderful gift in leaving, and the way she left in the end was a letting go in a very peaceful manner.
Yes. Yes. That's right.
And she's also showing me, too, that would you recognize she made notes for you as to what different medicines or herbs to use?
She did. 30 years of it.
She showed me all the notes, and she said to me, you have the notes, and she'll continue to help you, and that you're doing well. And would you recognize your body is doing better now with the health due to the herbs and things you have been taking, but it's something that your health has improved?
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
Because I feel much better now than you did a little while ago.
Yes. Yes.
I see a nice balance, and I see it continuing. Also, in your life, you've been having some thoughts recently that I want to get the conscious level all in order, because for a while there, things got a little helter-skelter, and now I see you really bringing it back to balance, and I feel like you're working on that now at this time.
That's true.
And it's going to work well. You recently had a tooth bother you or a gum bother you on the left-hand side of your mouth, and it's been bothering you, and you've been ignoring it.
Well, going to the dentist next week.
Please go. I feel the energy there. I felt that pain in my mouth, and I feel an energy you've been having that happen. Also, left leg, left knee area bothered you also?
Oh, some years ago.
Would you recognize that at times you have to watch how you bend or move, because if you do it the wrong way, it would bother you?
Mm-hmm.
Would you please be careful on playing Superwoman?
Oh, that's a good, yes. I tend to carry a lot of weight too much sometimes.
Well, I see you getting in these moods where, by God, I'm going to get it done, and no matter what. And I want to say, I don't want to twist or stretch or pull something in the leg that would really end up bothering you for a while. You don't need that.
All three of us are Capricorns, and we can be quite stubborn.
Uh-huh.
Well, thank you so much, Greg.
You're welcome. Also, you found a ring that you thought you lost for a while?
Yeah, that's interesting. My daughter and I went through a bunch of jewelry recently.
Yes.
Because she wants to sell it. But yeah, there was a ring there that I had forgotten about.
Yes, because a lady in spirit said to me, she found the ring she'd forgotten about.
Oh, okay.
And would you recognize there's some jewelry there that you've decided you're keeping?
Yes.
Because she said to me, it's the energy and vibration of the loved ones in spirit. It's not so much just the jewelry, but the energy and vibration as to whose it was.
Oh, yes. I know what that is.
Bingo.
It's actually, that particular one is a set of earrings.
Yes.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Very good. Greg told me one time, he said, go home and take care of that wire underneath your bed. And I said, what do you mean, what wire under bed? And I looked under my bed, and there was 2 extension cords connected, and they had brown burnt ends on each end. So he was right. I hate to say it. Barbara, you're up with the doctor, with the Reverend Greg Kehn, you're on.
Hi.
Hi, thank you. I want to apologize first because my sound and my picture aren't in sync. So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right.
And I don't have a question. I always tell my kids I'm not in the hospital and I'm not in jail. I'm pretty good. You know, it's okay. So whatever you have to share with me, I would be grateful for.
Well, one of the first things around you, would you recognize you've been finding recently, you've been annoyed with clutter?
Yes.
Because I keep seeing you looking at stuff and thinking, I don't need all this here, and I want to rearrange and redefine what I want. And I
Yes.
feel like it's also in a mental, emotional level of what am I putting my time and energy into, and the investment of that has become very much important to you, and a focus more as to how you want and what you really want in your life.
Yes, very much so. I'm
And
happy to give it away now.
And I see you doing exactly that. There's things I'm seeing you clearing out and getting it down to how you want and what you want, and it'll be fine. It's going to work very well. And would you recognize a gentleman in spirit that passed away, that he had damage to his hand, and I feel part of the tip of the finger was missing?
Not that I know of, that I can think of now.
I want to go back to childhood, and I want to go back to this person being in and around your home, and he'd have been visiting the father.
I cannot recall anybody with that. And maybe I just don't want to remember somebody with a missing joint on their finger. So I don't know.
Keep that in mind, because whoever it is around your father, and I feel your father's energy. And would you understand he could be a very stoic man?
Yes.
Because I saw a very stoic energy with father, and I'm seeing around you. And he talked about you've been now at a point recently of really, let's say, redesigning how you want your life to be. And you've been really working on that more. And I feel very good about it. The changes are wonderful. And you have a lady in spirit with you that comes in, that when she was in the living, she loved lilac flowers. She enjoyed having them around her home. And that was her favorite.
I know who that is.
Because she's with you, and I feel such a warmth, a very loving, hugging energy, and she's there for you.
Thank you. It's my Aunt Mary.
And would you understand with Mary, she was an individual that was a very gentle person, but also quite feisty.
Yes, she was. She was a nurse and defied her father to become a nurse, who told her not to stay home and help, support the family. But she wanted to be a nurse so badly that she did.
Well, I'm going to say it this way. I see her the kind of person that was loving and caring to everybody, actually very healing to everybody. But I also feel an energy with her that, by God, when she made her mind up, that's exactly what happened. She made her mind up.
Yes.
And I feel she loves you and she's with you, and it's a wonderful energy. And I want to term it, she was ahead of her time.
Yes.
Because I saw her being way ahead of her time in her belief and understanding what she would choose to accomplish. She really did very well.
She did. She did.
Now, you've been having a difficulty with your one foot and giving you cramps or pain in a leg or foot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because she's talking about you taking care of yourself, and she's referring to that part of your body, and it's bothering you, and she wants you to get serious and take care of it, because sometimes it limits your walking.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
And
sometimes it wakes me up at night. Yeah.
There's things can be done that would really take that away, and it wouldn't be bothering you. And let's not keep pushing it aside, but let's go get it looked at. I feel it can be taken care of relatively easily, and I feel you'd feel much better.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Diane, you're on next. Diane Salad, you're on next. And Herat is after that. You're on with Diane, Greg.
All right. Hi, Diane.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Somebody's microphone is causing distortion. Greg, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm getting a lot of distortion somewhere.
I'm hearing the distortion on this end also.
I'm going to shut everybody down. I don't know what happened. But...
Still there.
All right. All right, let me get you hooked up again now. All right, Greg, you're back on, and I'll get Diane. I think it's Diane's connection, but I'm not sure. Okay, Diane, speak. Diane, we can't. It's your connection. I'm sorry. I'm going to move on now to Kirat. Kirat, you are on. Diane, try another method. I'm sorry. Kirat, you're on with Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. I've got two things that I guess I just want your thoughts on that I'm dealing with now. The first one is both my parents have been in the hospital and have some health problems. And the second thing is just being a parent because we're having a baby later on this year.
You're having a baby later on this year?
Yes.
All right. May I ask how old you are now?
39.
Well, I feel very good about it, and I see... Excuse me. I see it working very well. It's not going to be a problem. I see a very healthy child. I feel it's going to work very nicely for you.
Oh, good.
And you've been going through a transition recently where there's been thoughts about your husband and the possibility of him looking at changing the job environment.
Yes.
Because I see a shift in job environment, and I feel he'll do very well. I think it's going to be a nice change.
Okay, good. Yeah, he actually is going through that right now.
Good feeling. Would you recognize he's debated a bit as to there's two jobs, and it's like, which one do I really want to go after?
Mm-hmm.
Because I see it working very well. I think it's going to be a very good energy.
Okay, good.
I feel an energy also with the baby. How far along are you?
Just about to finish the first trimester, so due in December.
I feel very at peace about it, and I see the child coming through very strongly. And would you recognize you've already dreamt about the child?
Yes, yes, I have. That is true.
I kept seeing the dream, and I feel you've been aware of that, and I see them with you, and it's a really nice feeling to have that closeness.
Yeah, it definitely is. I definitely felt it before and now.
Good. Well, I see it working very well, and I just see this as a wonderful energy. Also, recently there was a vehicle problem where there's something mechanical not working quite right.
Recently, like in the last day or two?
Well, possibly a day or two, maybe a little longer.
Okay. I mean, we do have one car that had problems.
Well, I kept seeing you getting something fixed, and recently, I don't know if this is your husband or you, but if there been a problem with windshield wipers?
I don't know, but there could be.
Well, I have a feeling of checking that out. I feel the need to look that over. I think that'd be good to check it out.
Okay, we will.
In the old days, Greg always ended his reading with you and then your car, and then he was gone. So I would listen to him. Thank you for that, Greg. Linda, you're up next. I wanted to ask you for Greg. I have been meeting with a lot of very fine advanced astrologers.
Good.
And I know I've been doing it 40 years, and we've been rubbing our chin really hard. And I'm going to say to you very distinctly that we don't know what the hell is going on right now. Now, I'm not talking about Trump either. Trump's part of it. But astrologically, everything is off the charts. What are you sensing?
What I'm sensing there, all of the transitions of energy that you would have predicted a few years ago even, of how erratic things are going to be and how much is going to be changing. It's already now happening. And the planetary environment, and I'll put it this way, and you would know more about this than I would, but this is what I've been feeling. The transition of energy in the world, which I would believe also relates in the universe too, And it's something that people aren't realizing how quickly the transitions and energies are changing.
They are.
Now, when you talk about things happening in the world and you talk about, say, global warming or whatever this way, I feel what they're consciously predicting is going to manifest faster than what they'd ever predict. And things that were in your astrology, for example, I feel that now, whether it's literally physically moving faster or whether the energy and the events are being pushed closer together, I just feel like there's so much going on that it's hard to even comprehend some of it.
What is your general, I got to move on, but here, I want to ask you this. What is your general advice? I mean, we've talked about this for a long time, but what's your general advice for people who are concerned about this now?
Well, the general advice to me would be to be very aware of handling and dealing with things in the moment and not allow them to ride along and say later. I feel the energy around it that we'll be overwhelmed by things at times because we'll have a pile of things that we've put aside and we're needing to handle them and head on, face them, deal with them, and be responsible in that manner, because I feel we're going to be shocked and surprised how quickly things are going to shift and come at us.
I think that's exactly right. That's right.
That we wouldn't realize.
That's really well said, well put. Time is speeding up. Thank you, Greg. Linda, you are with Greg. Once I find your button, there you are. I'm going to push your buttons there. You're on with Greg.
Hey, thanks. Hi, Greg.
Susan A., you're next. Go ahead, Linda.
I don't have a question. I'm just thinking it's wonderful what you're doing. I'm so glad I have this chance for you to look at me your way.
Good. Well, you have a lady on the spirit side of life that loves you, cares about you, and watches over you. When she was in the living, she was not your mother, but she was like a mother. She was there for you and around you when you were a child. I felt a very nurturing, very loving energy, and she watches over you all the time. When she passed away, I feel she had a very severe lung problem and breathing, and I feel that when she passed in her sleep.
It must have been my grandmother.
Because she's with you and she's very close, because that was the first thing I felt, that she's around you helping. And recently you had a short, tiny spell where your equilibrium felt funny.
Say that again, please.
You had a moment where your equilibrium felt funny.
Have I had that? Yes.
Yes. Because she said to me to be more aware of taking care of you, because you're normally taking care of everybody else.
I'm losing the sound. It's gone. I don't hear anything.
Can you hear me now?
I don't hear you. Now I can, yes.
Well, I see you having to be aware of your body and your health, and I feel that sometimes you were affected by balance.
Yes.
And I see you checking it out. It can be taken care of rather easily, but I feel that you push through things and you keep going no matter what.
And I have just had a connection about this balance thing that I can keep going. I'm really happy about it. Thank you.
I do feel you're going to be doing better yet. I don't feel anything fearful, but I feel an energy of taking care of you, because you'd be more readily to take care of everyone else than take care of you.
It's been that way a lifetime.
Yes. Well, time to take care of you, dear. And
all right.
You have a lady on the spirit side of life that when she came in, she said to me when she passed away, she dropped dead. There was not a big lingering with her. She went so quickly, it was amazing. She commented the idea of being here and being fine, and I felt either stroke her heart, and she was gone.
I'm not responding because my brain isn't connecting with
That's
the
all right.
people that.
Well, you keep it in
Okay.
mind.
I mean,
Don't struggle with it. Let it go. Don't struggle.
Don't struggle with it, dear.
All right.
You later may think
Okay.
who it is, and it doesn't matter at the moment.
Okay.
But I know they're with you, love you, and they watch over you. And you've been thinking about it recently of spending some time at a distance in a sense of traveling. The opportunity is coming up, and I feel when you have the opportunity, I want to go with it, and I don't want to hold back.
We got about 20 seconds.
Any question you have?
I'm blank. I like the sound of your voice and the wonderful things you say to people. Makes me feel good.
Yeah, it's good. He's very soothing. Thank you very much, Linda. Thank you, Greg. Greg, we're going to move on now to our wonderful artist, our artist woman. She's sitting here somewhere. I got so many faces. 38 people. I've never been up this high before. You're breaking all the records. Susan,
breaking all the records?
You're breaking all the records. I had 100 seats and I chopped it down to 50. We're getting close. Susan, there you're on with Greg.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you very much for doing this for us. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
He's the one with the doggy.
This is Cooper.
Hi, Cooper.
I'm interested in knowing anything you might have to say or share about art and the path and the direction it's going. Also about my mediumship.
Well, let's start with the mediumship because I feel an energy with you that part of the art is really through your mediumship.
Yes.
And I feel you've begun to realize that the creativity you're having is the spirit loved ones that come through and help you.
Yes. I do.
And I see it as something that the art's a wonderful thing and it's a release for you that you really enjoy, but I also feel part of the creativity of that is spirit bringing you the ability to really have ideas and thoughts as to what to do, and you're expanding on that. And I see it as something that they're very happy to bring you things, and you're going to keep right on going with it. Also, would you understand putting some of the art in a place where it can be sold elsewhere?
Sold elsewhere?
Yes.
Are you talking about online or in a brick and mortar?
I would say brick and mortar, possibly online, but I see you having a few pieces you're going to put out there, and I can see like a consignment type thing where people would really want it, and I feel you're going to be amazed at what you can do. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I see you creating some art, and I want to say whether it's photographic or what it is, I'm not sure, but they're really excited about the idea that you could make copies of it, and you can sell the copies of it and have the original.
Prints, yes.
Yes. And I feel the need to do that. And I want to say part of it is definitely going right out to the public. And I see a few things you're going to have where I see some large companies that do cards and different things like that. And I could see them buying some of your art to utilize in print.
Sounds good.
And would you recognize that you really, not that you gave up on it, but there was a period of time you didn't really pursue doing that for a while?
Yes.
And you're now coming back to the thought of pursuing that more?
Yeah, very much.
I feel wonderful with that, and I want to go with it because I see you having the ability to create some wonderful things and then turn around and have the copies made, and that someone else would even buy from you the right to print it.
That sounds good.
And I can see that as a wonderful energy. And I also feel with you, you have a dog in spirit that I feel the dog in the living sees. And you notice at times where the dog in the living will stop and stare and almost bark where they're like, what are they looking at? You don't see it, but they do.
Right.
And I feel the pet in spirit is around them and around you. And I feel it startles the dog in the living a little bit. It's like, where did they come from?
Yeah, they knew each other.
Yes.
Yes.
not only they knew each other, but they were playful.
Somewhat, yes. The older one was really too old to really play much. They knew each other the last month.
Because I see the energy there, and I feel the one in spirit, that's going to be something you're going to notice more. And also, you've been noticing that sometimes you dream the future.
I haven't really noticed that. I know I dream things that are not normal dreams, but I'm not sure about the future yet.
Well, don't be surprised if you have something happening that you're going to be dreaming the future, and it's going to come in really loud and clear for you, and it's a real wonderful blessing.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks very much, Susan. I wanted to mention to you, Greg, that I got some private comments, and a lot of you, I'm sending you chat messages, and you're not looking at the bottom of the screen to receive your chat. So keep an eye on that area. I'm getting some messages about Greg, about people like you who are have this capacity to deal with so many things on a psychic level so consistently, and this particular person's in awe of your abilities. And I want to put in a good word for Capricorn people, because Capricorn people get the low end of the totem pole. I'm going to say they get the low end of the totem pole across the zodiac. They're pictured as heartless, and it's really an unfair label that they get. Capricorn people have, in a large way, a very strong sense of responsibility, and they take things heavily, and you see how he's working. He's pumping out one after the other. Good job. Waldo down in Mexico. What if I could find your picture? I got too many people here. I'm looking for you, Waldo. I can't find him. My God, this thing is packed. Okay, there you are. Waldo, go ahead. You are on with the Reverend Gregory Kehn. Carrie, you're next.
Thank you, Mr. Reverend.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
I don't have a specific question because maybe I have too many. I don't want to. But you could probably know more than I know.
I feel an energy with you that I feel you've held back from some travel, that at times you really want to go and travel, but yet you hold back a bit from doing it.
Just right.
And I feel that coming up later in the summer, there's an opportunity for you to take a trip and really get away for a while. And I feel when that door opens, I want to take it. I think it'll be wonderful for you. Also, would you recognize a gentleman in spirit? Now, I don't understand the language, but he's speaking a different language besides English, and he loves you very much, and he's there for you. And I feel he was a very, very strong, hard-working man, very determined. No matter what, he did not give up. And I feel he's there for you, and he said to me he's proud of what you've been able to do and accomplish.
Okay.
And you've been thinking recently about working some things out that you would like to have investments that you would look at as an income, and that you've been thinking of what investments you're wanting to make.
Yes.
Because he's showing me you making investments and you're going to build an income that is futuristically very supportive of you.
Okay.
And I don't know if you do that now, but they're showing me that coming up.
He told me he's going to donate a lot of money to the Exquisite Zodiac and DiClemente Foundation. Go ahead.
Well, if I could, I will.
I feel an opportunity that's wonderful that you're going to be getting ahead. And would you recognize the consideration of owning another property besides what you're living in?
Yes, well, I'm always working in properties. That's my main job. Right now, I'm selling some property, actually.
Well, I get the feeling of selling it's fine, but I see you making another investment in some property, but the investment is a really good investment that'll gradually bring you a good income. And I feel like that's coming up very shortly. And when you come across that, I feel you're going to get excited because you're going to realize under one roof how much I can really realize in income once I really do this. And I feel definitely it's the idea of owning, not just the idea of renting some space, but I mean really owning it.
Thank you. That's good.
I see it working very nicely, so let's keep at it. I think it's going to work well. Also, would you recognize the lady in spirit that when she passed away, she was so sick that she reached a point that she wanted to go on and she did not want to be here and linger?
Yes.
Because she loves you and watches over you. And she said to me, I want him to know I'm fine.
Okay, thank you.
Because she was in really rough shape for a while before she passed over.
Okay.
And I see her watching over you. Also, I don't know how much you do the astrology, but I want to say, let's be aware of what energy is coming in a financial manner that would support you in some of the investment times of you stepping up and really getting out there on some investments that are going to work very well.
Good.
Okay, well, 15 seconds.
I want only one question because I never had to be able to say goodbye to my grandfather for my mother's side, and he was a medium, and I knew that I was the only one that wasn't there when he was passing away because they didn't tell me. I always feel something bad about that,
Well, let's say it this way.
The person that you mentioned that probably was him that always there,
I was just going to confirm to you that it's him, and he's with you, and he wants you to know he helps you. And he said to me, you're learning to use your abilities more now than you had in the past.
Thank you.
And he's happy for you that you're opening yourself in that manner, and it's going to be a blessing. It's really very helpful. And would you recognize with him that he had his own way of praying? Because I feel a very close energy spiritually, and he certainly watches over things to help you.
Good.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks, Greg. Thank you, Waldo.
Thank you, Mr. Greg.
Moving right along, we're going to Carrie next, who is visiting with Suzanne, I believe. Let me get the right picture here. Here you are. Carrie, you are on, I hope.
Hi, Carrie.
Can you see her?
Hi, Greg.
You're on now.
How are you, Carrie?
Anxious and scared. I'm losing my job soon. I have applications out. I just have no idea where to go. As far as you're in a company, I only work nighttime and quiet environment, but I think that's unhealthy for me. Years.
I feel an energy with you, dear, and I feel it is a blessing to let go and move on. And I feel an opportunity is coming up shortly. It's a good job. And once it opens to you, you'll be fine. At this point in time, it's been very hard for you to be afraid of losing security. And it really frightens you a bit that there could be a difficulty with the lack of security. I feel security is still going to work out fine. You're going to have a short period where you won't be working, but it's a very short period, and you'll be in the new job and be working. So I want to say let go of that and not get into the fearful state of mind. Okay?
Okay. All right, so other places have all kind of places.
You're breaking up on us, dear.
Okay. All right.
Try to.
I feel very good energy. If you can hear me, I feel very good energy of the new job. And I want to say, consider the change a blessing and don't look at it as something negative that's occurring. I feel it's actually a very positive thing.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. I'm gonna move along. The connection is too bad. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for doing that. Deirdre S. We have two different Deirdres. Let's see. Maybe I got that wrong. One Deirdre. I got it mixed up. Deirdre, you are on with Greg.
Hi.
Deirdre? Yeah.
Deirdre.
We're not able to hear that microphone.
Are you going to have another job soon?
I don't know. Do we have two Deirdres? Or one? Okay, never mind. Did you want on Deirdre with him? Just shake your head. Okay, honey, I can't hear you. Say something.
I don't hear a thing.
You have to test your microphone on your end. Ginger, you're up next. Deirdre, try your microphone. Ginger, you're on now with the Reverend.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm really good. I have a very specific question. In November, I went through my third near-death experience of my lifetime. Everything's fine now. And I want to know, since that time, my psychic impression, spirit messages, they're all over the place in the way that it's never been before in my life. I've never experienced this strong. Everything in my life's been going great, but I want to know, I'm a good storyteller, as Rick will attest.
Great storyteller.
Yeah. How can I tell the difference between spirit messages or my own internal dialogue and stories I've made up in my head?
There is no you.
Yes, Rick, I know.
That's not a yes. That's true. It's all God talking through you.
One of the first things I would say would be this. When you have something come in that surprises you and you're not thinking about it, it's not a subject you've been on or thinking about, that's usually spirit. And you're going to have more happen where when you set the clarity in your mind, you set the intent, you're going to know what you need to know, and you're setting that intent in a prayerful manner. You send out that energy, and I feel Spirit's going to start bringing it in more clear. You could be thinking about driving your car, and they're going to bring in something else that's so different that you can't make a mistake. And I feel that's what they're going to be doing. So I want to say, let's slow your mind down, because not only do you have a wonderful imagination, your energy just goes and goes and goes and goes. I mean, it just doesn't even shut down. And I feel the energy there, if you be able to step back enough from it and realize when it comes in, it is coming in a clarity and a completeness that's not something you're imagining. It's something coming in very strong. And that will come to a point where you'll recognize more easily what is spirit and what is you.
Thank you, Greg. Very helpful. Anybody coming in that has any messages for me?
Yes, I'm seeing a lady on the spirit side. I feel with her when she was in the living, before she passed, she had difficulty with her legs, and her legs were swelling. They were swelling up and giving her problems.
That could be one of three ladies.
Well, I'm seeing this like a grandmother energy, and I feel love and the support from her that she's helping you.
Aw, thank you, Greg.
That's a wonderful energy there. Also, would you recognize recently you've been hearing raps and bangs in your home?
Yes, I heard one while we were on, and I was looking to see where it came from, and there's no physical evidence. Everything's fine.
Well, I've seen them doing that and wanting you to know they're with you, and they said, we can make it more obvious yet if we need to.
See, he did this to me about 30 years ago. I was at his house, and there was a box in front of us, like a cedar chest, and I heard his rapping inside. Then he laughed at me and smiled. Then he said, we could do heavier than that. And I went, yeah. And then the ocean roared down the hallway. the sound of the ocean came roaring down, just like you're at the ocean. And he looked and laughed and smiled, and there was no ocean there. And he just chuckled.
Oh, that's similar. Last night, I actually thought that all my dishes that I'd piled up in my drainer had fallen on the floor. I come out and there's nothing wrong. All the dishes are fine, but yet I knew I was going to come in and find every single one of them on the floor.
What's happening, Greg, when we all get these kind of weird noises? What's going on with us that aren't tuned to spirit like you?
Well, let's say it this way. People need to realize that we at times miss a lot. We don't really pick up on what's around us and what's going on. And then when they get the opportunity that we're in a calmer state and they can reach through to us, they do it rapidly and quickly. And sometimes you do it with sounds and noises. And they'll do things to say, hey, we're here. And for us to calm down. And as we calm down more, we're then going to be more open. And it'll come through in a more clear manner.
Do you get into restaurants, for example, and you can hear the conversations between people's minds that aren't even talking?
I have had that happen, yes.
How do you pretty good at shutting that off?
Yeah, I had to learn to shut that off as a child. I would pick up everything from everybody, and I was so wide open to it. And I didn't like going to the hospital. I didn't like being around groups of people. I mean, even going to the grocery store was hard for me because I would feel things about people, not only what's going on in words or thought, but also what's going on in their body. I would pick up different pains and feelings that they're having.
I remember you told me
and tell them that.
You told me you couldn't go to bars, and you got sick going to malls.
Yes. I remember going, I enjoyed fishing as a teenager, and I still do. And I was out at a bar restaurant at the end of the causeway of Mosquito Lake in Ohio. And I'd walk in and buy sandwiches. And I didn't like staying there because I kept feeling the entities that were hanging around the people that were getting drunk. And I would feel the entities and I'd feel the energies, and they were trying to relive what they were missing on the spirit side of life. And they would keep tuning into and being involved in the people that are in the living. And they would be picking up on energy and experiencing it. And that's where sometimes people say, I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what I did. Yeah, they could be loaded. They could be drunk. But I feel some entities been around them at times that motivate some of those things to occur.
That's fabulous.
That's really good.
Okay, we're going to move on. You ready, Susan? F out in California.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Susan F out in San Francisco. You're on with Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
Good. My question is, when I go to the woods, the trees say ancient ones, and I'd like to know who the ancient ones are.
Well, I feel the energy there that not only the trees could be referred to as ancient, but your ability in other lifetimes to connect with nature, and to connect with nature, meaning trees and all also, because you have a great respect for nature.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
And you know, I've heard the term people refer to people at times as tree huggers, and I want to say you're a tree hugger.
Yes, I am.
And I feel very good about the energy because I feel you really enjoy the loving energy. I have a tree that I was a child, and I used to go and sit beside this tree. Now, as an adult, I'm 6'3". It would take 4 of me to reach around the tree that I used to be around as a child. And this tree was something that was right beside my parents' home. And I used to go out and crawl up in the tree and talk to the tree. And the tree was probably well over 100 years old. And I understood the history and felt the history and the growth of it and what it experienced over the years there. And I find that we ignore things to such a great degree that we're right in the present time, you know, build this, build that, change this, knock everything down. And, you know, supposedly it's progress. But in reality, I think we're losing a great deal of energy and events and things we need to be in tune to.
I agree. Can I ask you, is my brother John around me?
John's around you, and there's a female with John also, and she said to me she passed before him, and she was there for him when he left.
That's my mom.
Because I see the mother energy and the son energy, and I feel very comfortable. I felt a great deal of love there.
Yeah.
And they're both with you. And also, who baked the rhubarb pies?
Oh, that was my grandma Ferguson.
Because she's standing right beside your mother.
Oh, good.
And I see her with the rhubarb pies, and she was famous for that.
Yes.
And I see her with you watching over things. And would you recognize also, she was a person that was ahead of her time?
My grandma Ferguson?
Yes.
I would say that, yes.
Because she had a strength and ability that was way beyond what most women had at that time.
Yes, yeah, I agree with that.
She's with you, loves you, watches over you, and she commented the idea, you've been having a little difficulty with a knuckle or a finger on the left hand?
No. My shoulder maybe a little bit.
Well, I kept feeling I want to be careful with banging your hand or just making a mistake and banging it in a drawer or a car door or something. Just be careful, please.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Susan. I'm going to move on to Ray.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Gregory, Ray is with us, but she is not on video. I'm going to unmute her now. So, Ray, you are on with the Reverend.
Very good. Thank you so much for Rick for hosting this, and for the Reverend for being here.
Thank you. Good, Greg.
How you doing there?
Pretty good. And yourself?
Good. You know, you pick up things on people all the time. You have a gut feeling about people that you like them or you don't. You trust them or you don't. And you have that almost immediate.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel you're following through in your own mediumship, and I feel a wonderful energy for you to work with developing it.
Mediumship?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
And I feel you have the ability, but I feel like you've not really taken the time to focus on it in a way where it would really be a focus.
The thing is I'm all over the map. I like music. I like design. I like writing. It is hard to focus.
Well, I'm going to say it in this manner.
Sure.
Your ability to spiritually feel and sense things, if it was taken away for a day and you didn't have that ability in use, it would scare the bejeebus out of you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because your ability to work with these things is something you utilize in every aspect of your life. Yes. And I'm going to say, let's take time to focus on that and develop it even more, because it would work absolutely wonderful for you.
Why, thank you. It's just a question of choosing which discipline, I guess. Because I dabble in a little bit of everything, it seems.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
You delve into everything, bar none. But on a mediumship level, you're already delving into it in many ways, because in all the aspects of your life, whether you realize it or not, you're using it.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
So let's follow through on it, and it's going to work very well for you to allow yourself to do it more.
What I find with that, Ray, astrologically, is sometimes people have a lot of Pisces or a lot of Sag in them, and they want to do everything. They bog themselves down by trying to pick one. You're not meant to pick one. And what I have always found with people like that is, in a sense, God trusts you with whatever it is you're doing. So just do it. Do whatever it is you're doing, and that's what you want to do. Because if you just had one path, it would make you too narrow.
Yes. Yeah, I think I'd go batty. I've always been a jack of all trades.
Yeah. Well, don't change that. You still have over a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, great. I'm wondering if you're getting any other messages from the ether, from the other side.
Well, I see a gentleman on the spirit side of life there that I feel when he passed, he said to me, everything was fine, and then he was gone. And I feel there was a real sudden passing.
It was.
I feel when he left, it was so sudden to him that it took him a little while to figure out that he was on the spirit side of life. And when the loved ones were there and greeting him, he was thinking it was a dream. And then he realized the reality of it because he couldn't step back in the body.
Sure.
And his comment was, I guess I really did it this time.
Yeah, that would be my dad. He was 68 when he passed, and it was quite sudden.
Well, he's with you, and I feel a great deal of love there. And you've been having some thoughts recently that a little debate about some traveling, and that you've been thinking about it, and you haven't really planned it out yet, but you've been really thinking, it's like, you know, I really need to work it out so I could take the time and go.
Yes, that's further down the road. I'm looking at selling the house that I'm living in now and moving into another one. So I've kind of got to get my feet underneath me in that sense before I can figure out where I want to live next.
Well, I'm going to put it very simply. Sure. I see a simple home. I don't see something, you know, huge and extremely fancy, but I feel a very simple home. But I feel the home is roomy, and I have room for art. I have room for things to do, and I see you thoroughly enjoying it.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so very much.
God bless you there. You take care.
Thank you. I'm trying to keep everybody in line here. Laura, you're up here in a second. Greg, Laura's up in, I believe, near the Toronto area. Laura, you are on with Greg Kehn.
Hi, Greg.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
I don't have very many loved ones on the other side, but I feel lately, the last year, spirit really pressing upon me, and I have no idea who they are or what they're trying to tell me. What can you help me out with?
Your box did not light up on the screen. Would you wave at me, please?
Oh, I'm right here.
Greg, I think there's a left-hand arrow and a right-hand arrow. You have to go left and right because we have so many here.
Oh, okay. Because I wasn't noticing the rest of them. All righty, now we got you. Yeah.
You've broken all the box office records.
Now,
what was your question again there?
Oh, that I don't have very many loved ones on the other side.
Yes.
But in the last year, I have felt heavy pressing upon me from spirit.
Yes.
And I have no idea who they are or what they're trying to tell me, but I feel like it's important.
Well, I'm going to say it this way. It is important because what they're doing is they're requesting that you open up more. You had an experience at home of hearing rapping.
Yes.
Because they said to me, tell her we're knocking on the door and asking her to let us in. And that to me is a metaphor of saying, allow yourself to be in a space of calmness that we can now reach through to you to communicate. And their desire to communicate is there, and the rapping is their way of saying, notice us, be aware of us, we are here.
Okay.
And you had an experience a short time ago of thinking you heard someone call your name.
Yes.
Because they did, and they're very happy that they were gain your awareness. But then they said she gets excited and wondering what's going on, and she's not calm enough to pick up the rest of the message.
Yes.
Well, they're sharing with you. And I want to say, let's take time in a more meditative manner to allow yourself to set the intent that may Spirit come to me in a way that I may understand, and I may recognize not only their presence, but recognize the energy they're sharing with me. And I feel by doing that, you'll be amazed how easily it will be for them to come through and share with you in a deeper way. And you've been having some thoughts recently that where you're living is something that you debate about changing.
I'm in the middle right now of doing all the painting and cleaning and renovation to prepare for a sale. So you're right on the money there.
Oh, boy.
I see you making decisions, and I feel very good about it. And I felt it's just a matter of timing to get this all underway and get it done. And I felt wonderful. I felt wonderful with that. Now, have you chosen where you're going?
A general area, yes.
Now, would you recognize the thought that I want another home, I don't want a condo?
I totally recognize that.
Because I see a yard, I feel room to have a garden, I feel room to have pets if you wanted to. I mean, I see a very nice energy around this, and I feel, would you understand the area you're looking into could be a little cheaper than where you are in a financial manner?
Definitely.
Because I see a nice energy that they referred to it as being more affordable, and it's going to make your life easier to have things more affordable. And I see it really allowing you to expand what else you'd like to be doing and accomplishing other than what you have already.
Thank you.
And you had recently had a little problem where your lower back has been bothering you.
A little problem, yes.
I want to say there's something coming up that the object is quite heavy. Have someone else lift it and move it. Don't try to do it yourself.
Okay. I will say, Reverend Greg said, you have to carry that.
Uh-huh. Well, you're going to be in tune to it, and I know you're going to need to watch a little bit. You don't need to be straining yourself.
She tries to do it all, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you, Laura?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Laura. Moving on here. Mark, I don't know if I got your, I'm sending all of you messages. Look at the chat area, and nobody's responding. You know why? I think a lot of people have tablets and they can't see the chat area anymore. But anyhow, Mark, did you want to go next? I had you next. Okay, now I want to tell you, after Mark, Dr. Parmar, I've been sending you lots of messages. You're after Mark, then Melody, then Karen D, then Deidre. So, Mark, you're on with the Reverend.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Greg. Thank you for coming this evening. I have one specific question and then just anything that you pick up. So, I spent about the last year and a half in a very heavy meditation practice with a specific goal, and I won't go into the goal, that's not necessary, but I just wanted to get a sense from you how you think that's going, if you're picking anything up, and then after that, anything else that you might have to say.
I really feel very good with you working with meditation practice, and would you understand you have been finding yourself thinking about past lives?
Well, what I'll say is I have a lot of dreams that seem to be very past life possible.
Well, I'm going to put it simply. I feel you were a monk in a past life. I feel you're going back to the connections in a dream state as well as the present state in a conscious level of meditation, and you're actually re-experiencing some of the connections you had then. And I feel what you're doing is you're opening yourself to that being a part of your life that you can utilize in this lifetime, but I feel you definitely lived in another lifetime. And I feel the energy now of you making little breakthroughs in understanding that at times surprises you how well it works.
There are odd insights that do occur, and that's about all to say.
Well, I see it working very well for you, and I want to say enjoy and continue it, please. And I felt the energy of it, of this lifetime being something that you're going to, not immediately, but a little later on, you're going to take a trip somewhere where I feel there's a monastery of some kind that you're going to spend time at. And I feel that when you go there, I feel you have been there before.
Interesting.
And I don't trip is at this time planned. I feel this is something you're going to come to and recognize the desire to go to, and you will. Wonderful energy.
Look forward to it.
And I see you really enjoying it. And also, would you recognize, too, you've been finding yourself being more aware of dietary and what to eat and how you want to eat in a sense of just being really healthy?
Oh, yeah. I've lost probably close to 50 pounds over the last 18 months.
Because I just see that as a balance for you, and it's bringing more harmony to you to have that kind of calmness.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy it.
I will.
I felt a very peaceful feeling here from a guide and teacher, and he comes in as a monk. He wears a red robe, and he comes in as a monk, and I feel Tibetan, and I feel he's with you and walks with you in many ways. And he said he's opening his understanding in a way that is wonderful.
Excellent.
Good feeling.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
I felt, go ahead, Rick.
No, Greg, go. He's got another minute. Go ahead.
I felt another energy with you on the earth plane around you, the people you love and care about, and you want to be supportive of. But I feel sometimes you can't really talk to them about what you would like to because they don't have the same understanding.
Well, I would say that's true in general for probably most of my relationships. So that's a true statement.
I feel a balance coming of you encircling yourself with more people that are going to be spiritually really, really open and sharing more. And it's just something where, not that you're leaving people behind, but I'm going to put it this way. Your ability to have more friendships that are on the same wavelength on a spiritual level will be wonderful and very fulfilling.
Excellent.
All right?
Hey, Mark, thank you very much. And Greg, I want to say to you, it's a thrill for me to be amongst this group every week because they're just marvelous people here. And you're the perfect one because you're a marvelous guest. Thank you for coming to join us every 6 months. I really appreciate that. Now, a good friend of mine I haven't seen in a long time, Dr. Parmar from the Wheeling area. You're on with the Reverend Gregory Kehn.
Hello.
She has a striped shirt on. Pamela, I can't hear you. You need.
Can't hear you.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Let me try. She's coming on the phone also. Let me try to unmute the phone. That might be the issue here. Hold on, please. This one is on. I'm not getting her through here.
Talk to us, dear.
Here she is. Now try. Go now.
Hello. Hello.
You're
Hi.
on.
Oh, there. Okay.
Good.
Nice to see you after almost 32 years.
Yeah.
And I moved to California 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And, well, I saw Reverend Kehn and in Wheeling about 32 years ago.
I remember that time.
And, okay. So I want to ask Reverend Kehn, what do I have? What does he see for me at this point?
Changes you made are wonderful, and I feel you're taking time now to redefine what your life really is and in what way you want to really work with your life. And I felt wonderful with the change.
Good. Okay.
And you also have people from the past that you love them, you care about them, but
Yeah.
I feel
see what I gotta get.
You're stepping back a bit and having connections with certain individuals, but you're not connecting back with everybody. And I have to say it's a wonderful energy because I'm seeing you having people of like-mindedness, and I feel the sharing of energy in that manner. But would you understand you filtered through a lot of people and you've stepped away from some people now that it's no longer the vibration you would allow yourself to be involved in.
So what should I do? I should involve them. I mean, yes, I have met new people here in California. It's quite different. I don't know what.
Well, I see people that are like-minded that you're going to enjoy more, and it's a really spiritual energy for you to enjoy that. And I see the healing energy around you also. I don't know if you're involved in a group that works with healing.
Yes, I'm always interested in healing. Yes.
because I see a group there that's a new energy, a new group. I see you thoroughly enjoying it, and I feel like you're going to start writing some things that you've been thinking about.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
And I felt the writing is really necessary. I think it'll be very helpful to many people around you. And would you recognize you've been looking at age recently, and sometimes you look at age and you think, my God, I'm that old already?
Oh, that's true.
Because I don't feel it's ever fit you, but you look at it at times and think, I just can't even believe that much time went by.
Yes, that's true.
You have a gentleman on the spirit side of life that brings a great deal of love and support to you, and I feel that he wants you to know the transition you made was needed and necessary.
Yes.
And would you recognize, you realize now that you needed to get away from some of the energies you were in back there?
Yes. My husband is in the nursing home, so that's what should I say, challenge to me to
But would you
visit.
recognize with your husband that he's been having a little difficulty with his mind and his thinking?
Oh yeah.
Because I see
He's
him
got
at times not able to really communicate in a normal manner.
No.
And I feel he's going to leave in his sleep.
Oh.
I see him letting go and passing over in his sleep. And I feel that he is not himself at this point in time.
No.
And I feel it's been hard for you to try to be supportive when at times he's not the man you know.
True.
And I feel with him, once he steps out of the body, I see him reaching back to you and wanting you to know and understand that he has been pretty grumpy and he gets pretty cranky with things in his life right now.
Oh, yeah, I can understand. Very hard for him, yeah.
And would you recognize with him normally, if he was in his right mind and he was in good health, he was a very stubborn fella?
Yes.
Because I feel spirits working with him, and they said once he clears the body and he's on the spirit side, he'll come back and apologize to you for being grumpy. But I feel the love there, and I do feel that you love him and you watch over him, and that's all you can do at this point. But I do feel he'll let go and move on in his sleep.
We studied the Maharishi in 1975 together, three of us. I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, give him my best, Pamela. Thank you very much.
Please send my love and support, and I know God is blessing both of you.
Thank you. Suzanne, you're up next, honey. I'm sorry I did not see a request for you, but I got you on now, and you're with Greg. You're with Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
Melody's next.
Hi.
Hi, Suzanne. Wave at me. All righty. Yep. Gotcha.
Okay, you want me to have a question? Okay, I recently had an aura photo done, and I have a dog's head, which is from Egypt. My head's not attached to my body, and I have Albert Einstein. If you look at it close, you can't see it now, but it was a fascinating reading that I got. I did a trade at a fair with a woman who has a PhD in clinical psychology. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I don't know why I can't be normal. I try my best and I can't be normal.
Well, honey, you've never been normal.
No, I know that. But I actually have Anubis's head. It's an Egyptian dog.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle, and then Albert Einstein is on the other side.
Yes. Well, let me say it this way. you have a very creative ability. And I
Yes.
feel your creativity comes through from other lifetimes, not only this lifetime, but other lifetimes. And I feel your creative ability is something that's a spiritual connection, not just a conscious level of creativity, but a spiritual connection of creativity. And I feel you're going to have more happening because you get bored with life. You get bored with what goes on in life. You have a very difficult time staying in one concentration on one thing. True?
Well, I don't know. It's a complex answer. Yes and no.
Well, I feel an energy that you're going to bring balance to yourself even deeper and more than what you normally have had. And I see you developing that very shortly. And I'm also seeing you making some decisions that I would term on a spiritual level more anchoring, that you'll be more anchored. And I could see you having consistency and being focused longer on some things that'll bring success.
Well, one thing about this is I have no throat chakra, but I have a very strong root chakra, so she was not concerned about my head not being attached to my body. But I do have bad left brain trauma. So, all of these things go into play, and I'm not expecting an analysis from you. I'm just chatting. But, as far as my life right now, I'm cutting people out. When I become the type of person to them who is dispensable. Mm-hmm. So I'm cutting people out. I've had a wacky weekend where I had a crazy landlord. After we all signed the lease, back out on it, I had things in boxes. There's Maryland, and then here's my boxes. And so, I've had to cut people out, including my daughter. And so I've been cutting people out. And I will not be dispensable. I will not be secondhand, just not important enough to back to me.
Well, I see you creating and bringing balance to your own self-worth and value, but I also feel that's where the reflection would be with others, that now you're looking at it and saying if they're not going to have that same respect, that you're no longer going to put the energy into that.
Absolutely.
And it's a good energy, a good change. And I felt very peace about it. I think it's going to work very well for you.
Yeah, another thing, real quick. I actually am a published author and I'm a published artist. And when I retire in September of this year, I plan on doing that again, trying to get into galleries as I have in the past. And so I think I'm bringing in the starseed connection.
I feel you will, and I see it working well. And I just see it as a matter of timing for that, or really to open up to you more.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Suzanne, Greg. I had you, Melody, but I know you get busy with the kids. I don't see you anymore with us. Melody, check in if you are. You're up next, but in the meantime, we'll skip past you for a second and go down to Florida where Karen is waiting for us. Melody's here. Karen, you'll be next. And I've got you, Melody. Sorry about that. And you're now on with Greg Kehn. Go ahead.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, how are you?
I'm all right.
Good. Wave at me.
This is me.
All righty. We got you.
Okay.
What's your question there?
I don't know that I have a question. I'm open to hearing from Spirit.
Well, one of the first things around you, I'm seeing a lady on the spirit side of life with you that I feel is a guiding influence. And would you recognize you've been having more happen, and your ability to feel things and sense things you've been noticing in a short period of time has been increasing?
Yes.
And it's been opening up to you more. And in some ways, it's a little bit of a surprise. But on another level, you feel like I'm feeling and being in tune to so much more than I'm used to.
Like a reinstatement of when I was a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you did go through a period of shutting down a lot of your abilities. And now I see you really coming back to turning the switch back on, allowing it to occur. And it's really a wonderful energy. And I want to say, let's allow that to just fully open up and flourish, because that's what you're meant to do at this time.
Does this lady have advice, or do you have advice on opening it up like that?
Well, on a meditative level, set an intent and put the intent out there that I'm asking my guides and teachers and loved ones to come to me in a way that I may understand. And please give me something that I know for sure that it's spirit. And I feel as you're doing that, they're going to start bringing things through to you more in a stronger way. And there won't be the challenge of, is this spirit or is this my mind? And I feel like that'll help, because you sometimes can really get confused over what you're picking up on.
Yes, very much.
And I see more clarity of not having any doubt at all that it's spirit or that it's you, and you'll know the difference. And as that comes together more, it's just going to be easier. Also, who would be around you that you at times when they're around you, you feel very drained, and they, in a sense, pull energy from you?
Are you talking about in spirit?
No, in the living.
Several people that I know, but definitely close partnerships.
Let me say it this way. In essence, they have no right to do that. And I'm seeing you starting to shut it down and not allow them to do that. And it's going to let you rebuild and regain energy in a much better manner.
Yes.
And I feel that they're not showing you the respect that they need to show you at many levels. And I'm seeing you starting to look at the idea that I'm respecting myself more, and I'm not going to be the energy and the battery they keep plugging into and pulling from me, because they keep pulling from you at times that are ridiculous.
Definitely. Ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just see you shutting it down where I'm not allowing it anymore. God bless them somewhere else, preferably further away, if they want to continue to play the game.
Right.
That's what John and I were telling you when Uranus went into Taurus.
That's
about
right.
a month ago. It's the Taurus side of materials, but the Taurus side of self-worth. There's a huge reflection, a huge revolution going on across the country, which is, the Me Too is part of this thing. So the self-worth stuff is very timely. I want to apologize to several people that I've missed, and just stick with me. And if you want on the list, please add your name in the chat message to me. I'm trying to be fair and get to everybody. Melody, you got about 2 more minutes. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering if there's any messages, or if you see my father, if he's left a message at all.
I feel your father's energy around you, and I feel with him, he was a man that had a difficult time communicating everything he felt. And I feel he loves you very much, and he wishes that he, on the earth plane, would have displayed more, and he was a stoic individual that did not allow a lot of that to come out. And he misses, and he realizes how much he's missed on not sharing when he was here.
Yeah.
And I see him reaching out to you in a very loving way and wanting you to know that he's there for you. And he's also expressing the fact that you have been having dreams, but you're not always remembering them.
Okay.
And you realize you dreamt, but you're not remembering what you dreamt.
And that's unusual for me.
Yes. So let's start reinitiating the intent of remembering in my conscious mind when I awaken, that it sticks with me. Even if I dream something, not only do I want to remember the dream, but I want to remember what the dream meant.
Yeah. Okay.
And I feel you start programming that intent, and you'll be amazed how quickly it's going to turn around, and it's going to be more clear for you. Also, would you please forget this whole thing about your age? Because you look at things at times and you place a time on it. How much time did I invest this energy and time in something? And which investments were either really good ones, or which investments where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I wasted all that time there.
Got it. Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Greg. Hey, Greg, I apologize, but we're at our limit. Can you stay on a little while longer? I'd like to get everybody in if we can.
Sure, we can try it.
If I send you a couple 20s or something? Would that work? Couple 50s? Okay. Thank you, Melody. Karen D., thanks for waiting. You're on now. Karen from Florida.
Hi, Karen.
How are you? And thank you so much. I've been looking forward to this.
Good. What's your question?
I really don't have one. I want to know what you have for me.
What I feel for you is that you have a very loving energy and you care about people, but I feel you shy away from people a bit because you find yourself at times annoyed with their choice of ignorance.
Yes.
To put it bluntly.
And you find yourself stepping back at times and not having the involvement that at moments you have had, and it's been good, but you step back at times and not allow yourself to have the involvement with them anymore because they can be leeching on you and pull from you in a very deep way. And I feel you've started to eliminate that now.
Thank you. I've been working on that.
Yes, you certainly have, and it's worked well. And you also have a lady on the spirit side of life with you. I'm not certain if this is grandmother or great-grandmother, but I get this older lady, and she was around you when you were very young. And I see her very supportive of you because she said to me, you were never young. You always was older, and you always thought older.
Okay.
Would you understand you, even as a young person, you had a lot of thoughts that were more mature?
Yes.
Because she's talking about how mature you were always thinking, even though you were a child.
That is true.
And I see her with you, loves you very much. Now, would you recognize the lady that likes tulips? She
Yes.
grew the tulips. She loved the tulips because she just put me a bouquet of tulips in my lap. And she said to me, tell her about that and she'll know who I am.
And I do.
God bless her.
Great
She's
aunt.
with you. And you had an experience a short time ago of, in a dream, talking to her.
Recently I have not remembered my dreams. So
All right.
It's bothered me, but
Let's send out the thought of prayer that we're asking us to wake in the morning and remember all the dreams because I do feel you're missing out.
I heard that when you shared it with someone else, and I thought that's what I need to be doing.
You got it right there.
Hey, Greg, let's work together for a second. I've known Karen for a long time. She's a phenomenal healer in many capacities. I read for her a long time, and I see very clearly her healing, the manner of her healing is going to change very soon, very radically. What do you see with her new healing type?
Absolutely. You're going through a transition into another vibration, higher vibration, and it's going to work really well for you, and it's going to come to you so easily that it's going to be a little scary at first, that it's like, wow, what a change, and it's wonderful.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, I have. There's several things I've started to realize. I'm not sure how it's all going to come together, but I'm not worried about it.
Good. Ken,
Well, it's working very nicely.
You're ready for it. You're ready.
Do you see anyone else around me?
I'm seeing a gentleman in spirit that passed. He's telling me that he was so sick he wanted to die.
Yes, that would have been my father.
Because he said to me, he said, I did not want everyone having to take care of me and take care of me in a literal sense because he was so sick.
That would have been Elliot.
Because he's helping you, he's around you, and he said to me, he said, would you forget about the negative people because you feel bad that people act in the way they do and treat you in the manner they have. And he said to me, God bless them somewhere else.
You know, I've been doing that.
Yes.
I have starting to figure out, but I wonder if that's Elliot.
It's Elliot, and he's helping you. And I felt very peaceful about it. It's a very nice energy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Greg. You're moving right along.
That's a lot of peace,
trying to
Greg.
get everybody. Dixie can't be seen, but she can be heard. Dixie Lee is with Greg now.
All righty, Dixie Lee.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Turn your volume up. I couldn't hear real well.
Speak up a little.
Oh, I don't. I'll try to get closer.
Yeah.
Is this okay?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to see what you could tell me. I do have questions, but I thought I would listen to what you had to say first.
You got about 4 minutes. Go ahead, dear.
Health. Do you see?
It seems like you're breaking up, dear. I'm not hearing.
Do you see any health around me?
Health around you, did you say?
Yes, hopefully good health.
I see you improving with health, and I see you getting straightened around, but you had a virus or infection in your body. I'm not a doctor and can't prescribe, but I feel you had a body infection, and I feel it's robbed you of energy, and it's made you very fatigued.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Dixie, I'm going to have to cut this off. I'm sorry. We can't hear you at all. Thank you for giving it a try. Again, let me put this on the screen for you in case you needed to get a hold of Greg. Here's his phone number for appointments. That is his website. And I'm going to move right along, and I apologize, but Deidre has been waiting a long time, and I want to put Deirdre on. I can never say that name correctly. Deidre, where are you? Okay, let's try you again. You're on with Greg. Go ahead. I can't hear you again. That's twice. Oh, you're on a phone. Okay, let me try that. Let me try. I hear you now. Go ahead. Huh. I'm trying here.
I see your lips moving, but I don't hear you.
Hey, worst comes to worst, at least give her a little bit what you're picking up for a couple minutes, because I just can't pick her up either.
Deidre, you have a lovely heart, and you care about people a great deal. And I know you're there for them, and you help them. But I also feel you've reached a point recently where you have one individual where you've started to feel like I have to cut them off and not allow them to pull on me so hard. Shake your head. And I see you taking the time that you've been there for them, but I feel they don't give back. And you've given a great deal, but they don't give back to you. And I'm seeing you stepping back enough now where the people that give back will share with, and the people that don't give back, God bless them somewhere else.
You're on now, Deidre. I think I got you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Can you tell me anything about my health?
I see you working on things in the bloodstream. I feel like there was something going on, that the white blood cell, red blood cell, something was out of balance.
Okay.
And would you recognize also that at times you've questioned the idea of your thyroid being out of balance somehow?
Oh, yes.
Because I see the thyroid, and they were showing me that symbol, and they were talking about you bringing balance to that is then going to balance out a lot of other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
don't know if this is medication or what they'd be doing, but I feel like once you balance that part, I see other things going away that wouldn't bother you then.
Good. Can you tell me about my eyes?
I feel left eye, and I feel it's been bothering you, and I feel you're going to get something done where I feel possibly either a shot or some medicine of sign that's going to be helping you.
Good.
And
thank you.
You recognize you were having trouble where there's been a blurriness to the vision?
Yes, last night.
Because I feel it has come and gone where it's not there steadily.
Right. Right.
I see you going to a good doctor, and I see you getting things done, and you're going to be amazed how good you'll feel.
Oh, good. Good. Okay.
That's
Thank
going
you.
to
And
come
do you
together.
do you see anyone around me? Any relatives?
I see two energies around you on the spirit side of life. I feel a woman around you that passed away. When she passed away, she went peacefully. I saw her wake up on the other side of life, and she was very happy to do so. She did not want to be here in a position of others having to take care of her.
Yes.
And there's
And
a
the
gentleman.
other-
There's a gentleman in spirit that when he passed away, he said to me, he went so quickly, it scared him.
Oh, okay.
When he
That's my
went,
dad.
I feel he went so quickly. He said when he stepped out of the body, he couldn't believe that's what happened.
Mhm. Yeah.
And would you
Yeah, he
recognize,
passed quickly.
would you understand him being a very gentle-hearted man?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I see him there for you and supportive of you. And he made a comment. He said, tell her she won't go blind.
Okay. Okay.
All
Thank
right?
you.
Okay,
You're welcome.
we have to move on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're moving now to Diane Salad. Did I say that right? You're on with Greg. Diane?
Actually, it's Saladay. Yes.
I'm getting all kind of distortion here. Yeah, it's your microphone, dear. It's yours, Diane. I'm sorry. Try it again. We're getting really a lot of distortion. I'm sorry. We're going to move on to Margaret. I'm trying to do what I can here. Margaret, you were on.
Hi there.
Hi, Margaret.
Try your mic out. Go ahead.
Hi there. So I'm just coming out of a knee replacement, and I am antsy as heck to go somewhere, do something, but I don't know if it means moving. I don't know what.
Well, let me say it to you this way. I don't feel any problem with your knee. You're going to be fine. I just see you giving yourself time to do the therapy. And I have to say, range of movement is very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
it's
want to
actually
make
very
sure,
good.
I want to make sure you continue with the range of movement.
Okay.
And I felt an energy of you looking at moving, but would you recognize there's times you get frustrated with your life being the way it's been, and you're looking at your life and going, but I got to change everything. I just have to pick up and change everything. And I'm going to say, I don't want to be in a rush to physically move. I don't feel a need to at the moment. What I feel coming up is you're going to be going and doing quite a few things that you normally would have loved to have done, but wouldn't have done. And I see you taking the time to now go do them and enjoy them. And I feel it's a wonderful energy. Let's take the time and go.
Okay. Okay.
And you've been having some thoughts recently of reorganizing your life a bit in a sense of things in your life and like cleaning the house and getting it down to what you really want.
Yeah, I've been going through selling things, donating things, etc. And I don't know if that means that segues into downsizing a house, but I love where I live and I could never move back into this area because housing is very limited, and so I just kind of want to change, but financially it would be better, but yet I would lose a social group.
Diane.
Well, let me say it this way. I honestly don't see you making a move right now. What I see you doing is getting better physically and regaining your energy. And I'm seeing you really expanding your life in a sense of what direction you're going. And I feel then in a later time, I could see transition and moving, but I think you're going to come into a situation. At that point, it's like my wonderful, and I'd love it. And then is when I see you looking at making a change. I don't feel an immediacy of doing it.
Margaret, where's your heart at? What do you want to do?
I want to have fun. I'm tired.
What do you want to do? If we take the lid off, what do you want?
Travel all over and
Go.
be healthy enough.
Go. You're not going to be healthy if you keep pushing it down. Go, then you'll be healthy. I see this every day. Go. The things will fall in place, right, Greg? They'll fall in place.
Yep, it'll line up.
It lines up then.
Go and enjoy.
It ain't going to line up if you keep holding back.
I see you taking the time to go in the future and travel more, and I do feel with you a change of residency later, but I don't feel it's immediate, and I feel the energy there of your friendships are always going to continue, but comfortable and a wonderful anchor point, but I see you picking up and going all over the place then.
Greg, you're breaking up on me here. I want to let you all know I'm going to move on to Rip here because I'm in a hurry. But I see this all the time with everybody. The garage first, the house next, the job next, the food next. Do what you want to do first. Go. Then it works out, because what keeps you from getting there are the blockages. And the blockages are self-made. The blockages are self-made. Get rid of the blockage, and everything will just start working out. Good luck to you. Rip, thank you for waiting patiently. Thank you, Margaret. Rip, you're on now with Greg. Go ahead. Greg, we got about 5 more. Go ahead.
Hi, Greg.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
Speak up, Rip.
What's that?
Speak up, please. Rip is on with Greg. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Rick? 'Cause I can't hear
I can
Greg.
hear you, Rip. We were losing Greg's signal for a minute.
Okay.
Greg, you still with us?
Yep.
Can you? I've got 4 more on the list. You're with Rip.
What's your question?
What do you see generally?
Exact question. Not generally. What do you want to know?
Do you see anyone?
I'm the lady on the spirit side of the life with you. I feel very motherly, very nurturing, very caring. I feel an energy there that at one time you'd have been there for her when she was in the living, and I feel she passed over. You reached out and took care of someone for a while before they passed away. It was a female.
Yeah, like my mother, I think.
Yes, because I see her energy with you, and she was talking about you took care of her and was giving a great deal to her, and I feel she loves you very much and watches over you. I feel her energy, and I feel a gentleman also in spirit that was a stoic man that didn't let everybody know everything, thought a lot of things through at times, but he didn't say it all. And I see him with you, and I feel he had a hard time showing and sharing his love. I know he cared, but for him to display it was difficult.
Okay.
And I see them both with you, and I feel a great deal of warmth there. Also, would you recognize you've been thinking recently about your income and looking at money and security, and you've been thinking about redefining what you want to be doing with the money?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I kept seeing you redefining things and working on that, and I see some good results. I just see it taking time to put it all together. And I feel like you're going to get that going shortly, and it's going to make your life easier. Where do you live at now?
I live at home with my dad.
Where's that at?
Wisconsin.
Would you recognize the thought there's been a little concern over Dad that at times he's been slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel an energy there that you're at this point in time a power of attorney for him.
I'm basically the closest to him. But
well, they're showing me on a legal level to make sure the will's in order and to make sure that you have the power of attorney and power of medical. So if something did come up, you could step in and take care of things for him.
Okay.
And I'm not saying he's leaving soon, he's not. But I feel the energy there that at this point in time, there's something left undone that would create a problem if you weren't in that position.
Okay. That makes sense.
And I'm seeing a woman around him that I believe to be his mother, and I see his mother with you, and she said, it's been wonderful that you could be there, but sometimes he can make you a little crazy at times.
Yes.
And she's laughing, and she said to me, she said, he does a wonderful job of helping out, but Dad can really push his buttons at times.
Oh, yes.
And she's wanting you to know that you're learning to love him where you can, when you can, and how you can without getting caught up in the negativity.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, Rick. Thank you. Thanks, Greg.
It's an improvement.
You've broken up. Greg, hold on a second. I'm moving on. Thank you, Rip.
Thank you.
We're in a hurry. We're moving on to John next. John, you're on with the Reverend Gregory Kehn.
Hello, Greg. Good to see you again.
Hi, yeah, how you doing?
Good. So I'll be laser. I know there's not a lot of time, but two things that wrote down my mind. One, career. I feel like I've hit a wall. Second, the dreams that I have been getting have been relationship oriented. There's something, I feel like there's some important connection that seems to be in the works. And this has been going on for a while.
I have a very good connection, and I feel it's a relationship energy. I see it building, and I feel like you're going to start seeing a manifestation in the physical world, and not just the idea of a dream love or a connection energy. You're going to start seeing a manifestation in the physical world more with that, and that's going to develop nicely. And I want to say enjoy it. It's great. And on a career level, what kind of work are you doing now?
Education. I'm a teacher.
Would you recognize the thought that an opportunity to still do the teaching, but yet at a different dimension or different level than what you've been in so far?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I see that door opening, and I felt really comfortable that door is going to be wide open for you. And I feel this summer and latter summer, a door opens. I can see you interviewing with it. You're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you.
That's right.
I can see that.
That's smart.
It's a good energy because I feel you're really showing them respect, but they're also have to show you respect to be, or it's not. And I don't see you letting yourself accept that.
Okay. Not expecting the, not accepting the lack of.
And I felt good with that. You know.
Okay. You came across a little garbled, Greg.
Yeah, it's breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
I see it working very well for you. I think you could be quite happy with it.
Is there? Go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off.
Would you recognize also now? I saw a symbol of a bicycle, and sometimes you've been thinking about it. Now I don't know if you actually ride a bicycle or not, but I kept seeing a symbol of the bicycle of you pedaling it. You're directing, you're steering, you're balancing. You're the one on track, and you're rolling along very nicely. And I feel like you reached a point where you felt like things were somewhat neutral, and really not moving very much or changing very much. And I want to say, you're taking the steps now to make the changes occur.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. I feel that.
And I feel wonderful with that.
Yep.
Go ahead, Rick.
I just want to say John is awesome. He just doesn't know how awesome he is yet. I'm telling
And
you,
that's
brother.
going to work.
Isn't that right, crowd?
You real quick. I don't know how much time I have, but Greg, do you see anyone around me?
I feel two individuals around on the spirit side of life. I feel both of them pass quickly. I feel one had been sick a while, but at the end went real quick. And the other one went quick and was a surprise to everybody. I see both of them with you, and I feel great deal warmth for both of them too. And I see you having some dreams that are going to come to you in a dream level, and it's going to be one of those dreams that's so real that I could touch and feel and smell and be aware of everything. Good energy. Let's enjoy it.
There you go. Thank you, John. Thank you, Kate. Next is we get Kathy T, then Kate, and finally Karen. So Kathy, you're on now with Reverend.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. Nice to see you. I have two areas that I wanted to focus on. One about my mediumship. It's been coming along pretty well.
Yes.
Wondering about that, you know, what Spirit has to say about that, if I need to shift my focus a little bit. And the other question is about relationship, because I recently had a breakup. So I just wonder what Spirit's saying about that.
You recently had a breakup.
Yes.
I actually feel good about that. I feel an energy there that was excellent that you saw through it. Spirit said to me, the little red flags you saw along the way were not decorations.
Exactly. Exactly.
Go, Greg, go.
And I feel an energy there that this person presented to you what they needed to obtain you, but they never lived up to what they presented.
Okay.
And I feel there that this is something now where I see now a new energy, a new love energy. I see it working for you very well, and I've seen you being quite happy having that in your life. And I want to say, you have a memory like an elephant. You hang on to things forever. And I feel you're going to let go of them and realize that we need to put it in the past, because I see other things coming into your life very quickly, very smoothly. It's wonderful. Don't hang on to the old. Move on.
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Good.
And you've been thinking recently now, I don't know what kind of work you're doing, but would you understand you've been thinking about taking on other work?
Yes, because, yeah, less work, really. Shifting gears a little bit to part-time.
Because I see you rearranging your work and redefining how much energy do I want to be putting out, and what's fair to me, in a sense of fairness, what's fair to me that I can accomplish, and it's a fair amount of work for the money, but I'm not knocking myself out.
Yeah.
Because you were knocking yourself out for a while, and it was getting entirely too crazy.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm in education right now, and yeah, sometimes it can be intense. Yeah.
Well, let me say it this way. Would you recognize the people that are managing or directing things above you, you sometimes look at and think, why do they make these really stupid decisions they make?
Probably, yeah.
Well, I'm going to put it blunt and simple there. You have some people there that manipulated to gain the position they have, and they really don't know what they're doing.
Okay, yeah, the district's not doing too well.
And I see you having the opportunity, and I want to say God bless them, but not be involved in the energy and not be dragged down by the energy. I want to say let's very deliberately be the observer and observe what's going on, but you're keeping your work, your life, your balance without them pulling on you.
Okay.
Okay? Big difference.
Okay.
Big difference.
We're getting that theme an awful lot, aren't we?
Yep, for sure.
Thank you, Greg. Go ahead. One more thing, Kathy, go ahead.
Just about my mediumship, it's been coming along well for me, and I feel good about it. But I'm just wondering if there's a certain area I should focus on for further development.
I really feel with you that you're relaxing with the idea more now that the answers are already there, and you're believing they're already there, and it's not a circumstance anymore of, quote, looking for them. You're now really knowing that when it's needed, it's there. And
Yes.
you're
You're right.
it to occur.
Right.
And that's a huge step, and it's wonderful for you.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I used to wonder, is it going to work? You know, I'm putting myself out here, I'm charging people money. Is it going to work?
Yes.
Sure.
It's gonna work fine, but it's no problem.
Okay, thank you.
If you care about them, they'll feel it, it'll work.
I do.
That's all that matters. They'll feel it. You can't buffalo them. They'll feel it from you. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks, Greg. We got Kate next. Let's see. Is there a Kate here? I got so many, I can't keep track of them. Kate raised her hand. I can't see you, dear. I'm trying to find your picture. Where's Kate at?
Hey, Kate, I don't see you, but you're there.
I'm going to look for. I got Kathy, but not a Kate. Kate, wave your hand. I can't see you. I got Kate, Karen, and then finally Marilyn.
Kate has no photograph. There's
Kate, I see your name, but I don't see your connection to the. Oh, give me one more second. I'm going to shut off the YouTube part. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll continue here.